This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti, Ololade. Major headlines. Strange faces sworn in as special advisors in Ifako. Residents outraged. Alleged terrorism. AGF takes over Malami, son's trial. I won't die anytime soon. Obasanjo declares at 89. Tinubu suspends airport cashless policy. Sports. 128 boxers battle for 10 slots at 2026 SeaWorld Games. Finidi makes NPFL title claim. Entertainment. I took poison after discovering husband's affair with best friend. Actress Omolokal. Actress Juliana Olayode criticizes misuse of Holy Spirit Charimitran. News in detail. Strange faces sworn in as special advisors in Ifako. Residents outraged. There was pandemonium at Ifako local government on Wednesday. During the swearing-in ceremony of newly appointed supervisors and special advisors, what was supposed to be a joyful ceremony quickly turned rowdy when some names and faces were identified as not being from Ifako local government. It was alleged that some of the appointees were from Ojokoro and Ekpe, sparking outrage among residents. They questioned why the nominees were outsourced when the local government asked capable constituents and indigents who were sidelined. The residents felt disrespected, saying they've been loyal to the ruling party but are being ignored when it comes to rewards. The youth took to the streets saying enough is enough. They claimed the strangers were nominated by influential stakeholders who have sway over the power that be. They vowed not to accept such illegality and no responsibility from their leaders, saying they've staked everything to ensure the party's victory and the local government's progress. The residents felt their loyalty has been taken for granted, and it's time for change. They are demanding accountability and representation in government. The situation is still tense, with residents calling for a review of the appointments. The local government has yet to confirm on the allegations. Meanwhile, the youth are urging their leaders to prioritize the needs and aspirations of the people who voted them into power. State Police. IG sets up panel to propose framework. Newly sworn-in Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu on Wednesday inaugurated a committee on the establishment of state police as part of ongoing discussions on policing reforms. President Bola Tinubu at last Wednesday, during the breaking of fast with senators at the Presidential Villa Abuja, urged the leadership of the 10th Senate to initiate constitutional amendments to provide for the establishment of state police. The president said decentralized policing would strengthen security at the grassroots and improve rapid response to threats within states, noting that the current centralized structure requires constitutional review to accommodate the proposed reform. Speaking during the inauguration, Disu said the committee's task was to examine the concept of state policing as part of efforts to strengthen Nigeria's internal security architecture and improve community-based policing. He said the committee would review existing policing models within and outside Nigeria, assess community security needs, propose an operational framework for state police structures, and address issues of recruitment, training, standards, funding, accountability, and oversight. Alleged terrorism. AGF takes over Malami, son's trial. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, has assumed control of the prosecution of the former AGF, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, over alleged terrorism-related offences and unlawful possessions of firearms. The development emerged on Wednesday at the Federal High Court in Abuja, when the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Federation, Mr. Rotimi Oyedepo, informed the court that the case file had been transmitted from the Department of State Services to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. My Lord, I was informed by counsel to DSS that the case file has been transferred to the Office of the AGF, Oyedepo told the court. He sought an adjournment to enable the prosecution to review the case file and take an informed decision, adding that a short date would suffice. We ask your Lordship for a very short date. If we have 4 days, it will be enough, he said. Counsel for the defendant, Mr. Adedayo Adedeji, did not oppose the application, but urged the court to strike out the charge if the prosecution failed to open its case on the next adjourned date, alleging lack of diligent prosecution. Responding, the DPPF described the defense's proposed application as premature. Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik subsequently adjourned the matter to March 10, 2026 for commencement of trial and directed the prosecution to formally open its case on that date. The DSS had arraigned Malami and his son on terrorism-related charges, including alleged refusal to prosecute suspected terrorism financiers and unlawful possession of firearms. I won't die anytime soon, Obasanjo declares at 89. Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has said that at 89, he won't die anytime soon. He condemned those circulating a fake letter in which he was purported speaking about his death, saying they were only wasting their time because I can't wait. The former president disclosed this on Wednesday while delivering a colloquial titled Burden and Blessing of Leadership, Reflection from Global Africa to the World, held as part of the ceremonies lined up to mark his 89th birthday in Abuja. Obasanjo was born on March 6, 1937. The former president said that at 89 years, he had no doubt that God did not make a mistake to keep him alive and reasonably healthy at his age. He slammed those wishing him dead, saying he would remain on the earth's surface, agile and healthy for as long as his creator wanted. For my final note in the address, I want to point your attention to the work of some never-do-well. They publish and circulate a fake paper credited to me that I am right in giving notice of my death. Bafuka. That is their wish, and surely not God's wish for me. God has assured me that He has more for me to do on earth, and He has given me the wherewithal to do it. And those who wish otherwise are going to be dealt with by God Himself. I can't pay as usual, the former president said. Tinubu suspends airport cashless policy. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered the suspension of the recently introduced cashless payment system at Nigeria airports, following concerns that its implementation has caused severe traffic gridlock and hardship for travelers. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, disclosed this while briefing journalists at the State House Abuja after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the President. Keyamo said the directive followed reports that the newly introduced system at toll gates and other payment points across airports had led to long queues, causing many passengers to miss their flights. He explained that the cashless system was initially introduced by the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria to eliminate corruption and improve revenue collection for the federal government, replacing a decades-old practice of cash payments. The first one has to do with the present cashless system we introduced at our toll gates across the country in order to eliminate corruption and optimize revenue for the federal government, the minister said. $50 million extortion, Akwa Ibom Poly lecturer. Accomplice jailed 11 years. A lecturer at Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Abel Udo Jacob, and his accomplice, Innocent Nicholas Ntokon, have been handed a combined 11-year jail term by the Akwa Ibom State High Court, sitting in Court Ekpeni, for their involvement in a $50 million extortion scheme. Delivering judgment on Wednesday, Justice Augustine Odoko convicted the duo for subjecting a businessman, Eddie Jacob Jackson, to years of threat, intimidation, and financial exploitation that result in losses exceeding $50 million. The court found that between 2016 and 2020, Ntokon, described as a leader of the clan's confraternity, orchestrated a sustained campaign of terror against the victims, allegedly sending armed enforcers to his shops and issuing threats against his family members to compel monthly payments. Jacob, the Polytechnic lecturer, was found to have facilitated the scheme by serving as a financial clearinghouse for the syndicate, allowing extorted funds to pass through his bank accounts. The judge dismissed the lecturer's defense that he believed the money was linked to NDC roofing contracts, describing the explanation as unreasonable and inconsistent with the evidence before the court. In a strongly worded judgment that lasted about 2 hours, Justice Odoko described Ntokon as a predator who used the cloak of a trader to hide the heart of a hardened and merciless cultist and extortionist. Ntokon was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment on counts of demanding with menace, stealing, terrorism, and cultism, while Jacob received 3 years for demanding with menace, stealing, and terrorism. The sentence are to run concurrently, bringing the total jail term to 11 years. Sports: 128 boxers battle for 10 slots at 2026 Steel World Games. A total of 128 boxers, including 4 diaspora athletes, are logged in fierce competition at the Brai Ayonoto Boxing Complex National Stadium, Surulere, as the Nigeria Boxing Federation's open trials to select 10 representatives for 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, reached their decisive stages. The trial, which drew 101 men and 27 women, have produced spirited performances across the weight categories since preliminary bouts opened on Tuesday, with quarterfinals held on Wednesday and semi-finals scheduled for Thursday today, following medical tests and weigh-ins. The champions' bouts are set for Friday, March 6 in a carnival atmosphere running from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. NBF Secretary General Vivian Azimene confirmed that the team size was expanded following the intervention of the Director General of the National Sports Commission, Ololade. Initially, we were supposed to go with 3 women and 3 men, but after the visit of the DG, we've been promised 5 male boxers and 5 male boxers. In total, 10 athletes will represent Nigeria in boxing, Azimene said. Finidi makes NPFL title claim. Rivers United coach Finidi George has reaffirmed the club's ambition to win the Nigeria Premier Football League title this season, despite their recent setback in the title race. Ahead of their rescheduled fixture against El Kanemi Warriors on Wednesday, the 2022 champions suffered a 1-0 defeat to Bayelsa United in Yenagoa, a result that saw them surrender top spot to Rangers International. Having played 25 matches, 3 fewer than most other teams, Finidi's men dropped to second place with 46 points, 1 behind leaders Rangers. Sunday's defeat also meant Bayelsa United completed a league double over Rivers United this season, with the title chasers now winless in their last 3 meetings against them. Finidi expressed disappointment with the result but dismissed concerns that it could derail their title ambitions. If losing to Bayelsa will help us win this league, then so be it. I am not too worried. We know the end goal of our campaign is to win the league. It's quite unfortunate that we lost the last game, but we have to keep going with our outstanding matches, Finidi said. Entertainment. I took poison after discovering husband's affair with best friend, actress Omolokal. Nollywood actress Victoria Ajibala, popularly known as Omolokal, has revealed that infidelity led to the collapse of her first marriage. The actress made this known during a recent episode of Oyinmomo TV, which was shared on Instagram on Sunday. Speaking on why she decided to end the marriage, she stated that her best friend was 3 months pregnant for her husband while she was carrying his child. She described the experience as a painful betrayal, noting that the woman involved was someone she trusted deeply. Speaking in Yoruba, she said, I was 5 months pregnant. My best friend was also 3 months pregnant for my husband. The trauma was so much to the extent that I took poison because of shame. When asked about the current whereabouts of her former friend, the actress said she was unsure. Anyway, I don't know about her whereabouts anymore. Maybe she's still together with my ex-husband. I don't know. But they had about 3 children together after I left him, she added. Actress Juliana Olayode criticizes misuse of Holy Spirit carrying trend. Actress Juliana Olayode has expressed disaffection with how some social media users utilize the Holy Spirit carrying trend. Olayode on Instagram emphasized that while asking the Holy Spirit for assistance is acceptable, captions referencing personal attributes such as weight or physical appearances are wrong, citing examples like, how Holy Spirit no carry me because of my big yash. She questioned whether those using the trend understood who they are addressing and urged respect and reverence towards the Holy Spirit. Recap of the major headlines. Strange faces sworn in as special advisors in Ifako. Residents outraged. Alleged terrorism. AGF fakes over Malami. Son's trial. I won't die anytime soon. Obasanjo declares at 89. Tinubu suspends airport cashless policy. Sports. 128 boxers battle for 10 slots at 2026 World Games. Finidi makes NPFL title claim. Entertainment. I took poison after discovering husband's affair with best friend, actress Omolokal. Actress Juliana Olayode criticizes misuse of Holy Spirit carrying trend. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, TikTok at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call our WhatsApp 091 2222 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a lovely day. God bless Ifako.